welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the chapter Elements, Compounds and Mixtures, isn't it? And in my previous video, we have discussed everything about a pure substance. There are two types of pure substance. One was element, the other one was compound. So we discussed detailed aspects of the element as well as compound. And today, let us talk about a very important word in chemistry that is called mixture, right? So what do you mean by a mixture? So the name itself says it's a common word we use in a day-to-day life. What do we call as a mixture? When two things are combined with each other, we say it as mixture. Similarly, if two elements combine, or if two compounds combine, or if one element and one compound combine in any ratio, in any proportion, then the resulting mass is called mixture, right? Let us try to write its definition. When two or more substances, here the substances can be elements or compounds. Clear? So when two or more substances combine in any ratio, here it is not that they should combine in a fixed ratio. See, water is formed only when hydrogen and oxygen combine in 2:1 ratio, isn't it? Two atoms of hydrogen when combined with one atom of oxygen, then only you get a compound called water, right? So to form a compound, elements should combine in a fixed proportion, in a definite ratio. But here, the two or more substances can combine in any ratio. In any ratio is called mixture. Is called mixture. Okay. So I said two or more substances when combined in any ratio, it is called mixture. Substances can be element or compound. See here, two elements can combine. Two elements can combine in any ratio. In any ratio. Or, two compounds can combine. Two compounds can combine in any ratio. Or one element and one compound can combine. One compound can combine in any ratio. Okay, so whatever may be the combinations, when they combine in any ratio, then it is called as mixture. Okay, say for example, two elements combine. Okay, so here I'll give you an example here. So when you combine carbon with sulfur, carbon with sulfur powder. Carbon is one element available in powder form. Sulfur is one element available in powder form. Okay, so when two powders are combined, the resulting thing we call it as mixture. Okay, or two compounds when I combine. Say for example, NaCl is one compound. If I combine with calcium carbonate, then this is called as a mixture. Right? So what did I do here? Two compounds I have combined in any form. Say I might have taken NaCl in more amount or calcium carbonate in less amount. Say there is no proportion. Okay, there is no definite proportion for the combination. It is not that I have to combine one compound of NaCl with one compound of calcium carbonate. I can take more amount of NaCl, I can take less amount of calcium carbonate, I can mix and I can say it as a mixture. Clear? And I can also combine one element. Say I can combine sulfur powder. Sulfur is a pure element. with NaCl. NaCl is a compound, sulfur is an element, isn't it? Say when I combine two elements, two or more elements, when I combine two or more compounds, when I combine an element with a compound, anything can be combined. If I combine more than two or more, then it results to form a mixture. Okay, and remember, when I combine these things, they won't combine and they won't react with each other. Okay, see, one point you should carefully remember here is there is no chemical reaction. There is no chemical reaction between the constituents of a mixture. Constituents of a mixture. Right? Say when I combine carbon with sulfur, carbon do not react with sulfur, just they are present together, that's it. Say when I combine NaCl powder with calcium carbonate, these are two compounds. So when I combine them, there are no attractions between them, they are just present like that. Okay, you will never observe a chemical reaction between these two compounds. Similarly, when I combine one element and one compound, you don't observe any chemical reaction. So, mixture has constituents. Constituents can be elements, compound, or anything. Okay. So, between the constituent particles, you will never observe a chemical reaction. So, this is one major characteristics of mixture actually. Right. And next thing is very important. There are two types of mixtures. Two types of mixtures. Okay, so one is homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture. The other one is heterogeneous mixture. This is a very important concept. Heterogeneous mixture. Two types. So let us talk about what do you mean by homogeneous mixture. Say here, in homogeneous mixture, the constituent particles are completely mixed with each other. Okay, so what I can write here is constituent particles, constituents. Constituents can be two elements, or constituents can be two compounds, or constituents can be one element and one compound. Okay, so whatever may be the substances of a mixture, constituents in the sense the substances that have combined, they are called as constituents. So here constituents can be this combination, constituents can be this combination, constituent can be this combination, right? So if constituents are completely mixed with each other, okay, or I can say if they are uniformly spread, okay, then such a mixture is called as homogeneous mixture. Say for example, I have, here I am giving an example, water plus NaCl. Mixture of water and NaCl. NaCl is a compound, H2O is also compound. Salt solution. Okay. Say I prepared a salt solution and I took it in a beaker and I am showing you. See, this is a salt solution. Okay. Can you able to make out where is more salt and where is less water? It's not that you don't find a region where you find more amount of salt and you find less amount of water. You can't make out. See, water is completely mixed with the salt. Salt is completely spread in the water, right? Yes or no? See, if you see the surface, you have equal amount of salt and water. If you see the bottom of a beaker, you have equal amount of salt and water. If you see the middle of a solution, you have equal amount of salt and water. So here, salt and water is completely mixed. Everywhere you have same amount of salt and same amount of water throughout the solution. So such a mixture is called as homogeneous mixture. That means the constituents are spread uniformly, equally in a mixture. Okay, so one constituent, one substance is completely mixed with another substance. Say you feel that this is only water. No, but I mixed NaCl here. Okay, say you have NaCl and water, right? Say such a mixture we will call it as homogeneous mixture, right? And now let us talk about heterogeneous mixture. So what do you mean by heterogeneous mixture? Here completely opposite. Constituents of mixture is not completely mixed with each other. Okay, that means they are not uniformly spread. Not uniformly means equally, uniformly spread. Say in some portion you have more amount of one substance, in some portion you will have less amount of another substance. You know, such a mixture we will call it as heterogeneous mixture. Say for example, mixture of clay, sand and water. How does it look? When you mix clay, sand and water, how does it look? See here. This is how it looks. Yes or no? Say here, at the bottom you have more amount of clay and sand, but at the top you have more amount of water. It is not that at the top you don't have sand and clay. You have clay even at the top surface, right? But the amount is very little. Water content is more at the top, but at the bottom, if you see, the bottom of the beaker is entirely covered with clay and sand. More amount of clay and sand is there. That means in this solution, in each and every portion, you do not have equal amount of sand, clay and water. Say at the bottom you have more amount of clay and sand, at the top you have more amount of water. That means here the constituents, that is the sand, clay and water, is not completely mixed with each other, right? Say in some portion you have more amount of water, in some portion you have more amount of sand and clay, right? Say in the entire solution, all three constituents are not equally present, right? Say this particular mixture, such a condition, we will call it as heterogeneous mixture. Clear? Say, did you understand the clear meanings of the words homogeneous and heterogeneous? This is very important to understand. So in case of homogeneous mixture, the components are completely mixed with each other. In all the portion of a mixture, you have same amount of constituents in all the regions. Components are uniformly spread. But here, the components are not uniformly spread. That means not equally spread. In one region, you have more of one substance. In another region, you have less of another substance, right? Say, the components are not completely mixed with each other. They are not uniformly spread. So, such a mixture is heterogeneous mixture, right? And now, let us study some characteristics of mixture. Coming to the first characteristic of mixture, first and foremost, I would like to mention here, the mixture can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. It can be homogeneous or heterogeneous, yes or no? That means the constituent particles can be completely mixed with each other, or the constituent particles are not completely mixed with each other. So it can be of any condition. Some mixtures are homogeneous and some mixtures are heterogeneous. And the next point is, constituents are mixed. Constituents can be two compounds, constituents can be two elements, or constituents can be one element and one compound. Whatever may be, right? So constituents are combined in any proportion. In any proportion. It is not that one compound, one molecule of a compound has to be mixed with another molecule of a compound. Okay, say constituent particles can be combined in any proportion. Any number of constituent particles can be combined, right? That's what the meaning of that point. And the second point is no chemical reaction. This we have already discussed. No chemical reaction between constituents of mixture. Constituents of mixture. Say for example, if I combine carbon powder with sulfur powder, it's not that both of them are chemically reacting, no. But in case of compound formation, it was not like that. Yes or no? Say hydrogen, when two atoms of hydrogen combined with one atom of oxygen, you know, when both of them chemically combine, if some chemical reaction happens between two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, then only you will get water. Otherwise, water is not formed. So this is in case of compound. But in case of mixture, you know, when the elements combine or when the compounds combine, you don't observe any chemical reaction between them. Just they are mixed like that only. There is no chemical attractions between the elements, compounds or element and compound. Clear? Fine. And the third point is constituents. This is very important. Constituents can be separated. They can be separated by physical methods. Very important. Say if I combine NaCl with another compound CaCO3, definitely I can separate NaCl from CaCO3 by some physical methods. Right? Say when I combine NaCl with water, H2O, definitely I can separate water from NaCl. Imagine you have a plate. You have taken some amount of sand, right? And some amount of big stones. Say, I can say this is a mixture. Definitely this is a mixture. Sand is one chemical substance. Stone is another chemical substance. When I combine them, I can call that as a mixture. Can't you be able to separate big stones from a sand? Can't you be able to pick out those big stones with your hands? Right? You can separate. Say even these mixtures, you know, by some physical methods, you can able to separate the components or constituents of a mixture. Definitely. But can you say water, it is a compound. Can you be able to separate this oxygen from hydrogen? See, they have combined with the help of a chemical reaction. Strong attraction is there between hydrogen and oxygen. You can't easily, just by physical methods, you can never separate oxygen from hydrogen. Remember, that is in case of compound. But in case of mixture, you know, there are no chemical attractions, right? There are no chemical reactions between the components. So you can easily separate one component from another component by physical methods alone. Right? You don't require big chemical methods to separate them. Just physical methods are enough to separate components of a mixture. And the next point is properties. Properties of mixture is not different. From the properties of constituents. So what do you mean by this point? Okay, say for example, this is one mixture. So the mixture's properties are nothing but the properties of NaCl and the properties of calcium carbonate. Say in previous case, when we studied about a compound, we studied that say water, it is a compound. Its properties are entirely different from hydrogen's properties and oxygen's property. Yes or no? After all, when hydrogen combined with oxygen, you got water. But water has completely different properties compared to the properties of hydrogen and properties of oxygen. Right? But in case of mixture, it is not like that. Properties of mixture is almost same. It is not too much different compared to the properties of individual constituents. So whatever the properties of NaCl, whatever the properties of calcium carbonate, those properties only you will observe in case of mixture also. So once they have combined, it is not that you are getting completely a new substance. Because see, only when there is a chemical reaction between them, you get a new substance with new properties. But there are no chemical reactions only between them. They are just present together. That's it. Okay. So mixtures properties are not entirely different from the properties of these guys. Okay. So whatever the mixture will show the properties of NaCl also, it will show the properties of calcium carbonate also. So that's what the meaning of this particular sentence. And the next and important one is no energy absorbed. No energy. Here in case of chemistry, most of the time energy is nothing but heat. Remember this. No energy is absorbed or released during the formation of mixture. During the formation of mixture. Clear? Say, I told you, whenever two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen, you are getting water. Say, chemically, these two elements are combining. These two atoms are combining to get water, a compound, right? During such combination, sometimes heat is given out or sometimes heat is required for the combination of these atoms. So definitely energy issues are involved when compound is forming. But in case of mixture, see, chemically these guys are not reacting. They are just present with one another. That's it. So when there is no chemical reactions, there is no question of energy. Okay, energy issues will not be observed during the formation of mixture. There is no energy released or there is no energy absorbed during the formation of mixture. Okay, so these are some important properties or characteristics of mixture. And you should also be able to differentiate between mixture and compound. Okay, so all points are opposite for the compound, isn't it? Say, if I ask you what are the differences between compound and mixture, what would you say? See, in case of mixture, there are no energy issues during the formation. But when a compound is formed, energy can be liberated, heat is liberated or heat is absorbed. Okay, there is some issue with energy or heat. Okay, but there is no heat issues in case of mixture formation. Right, this is one important difference between mixture and compound. Okay, and another thing is compound is always homogeneous, but mixture can be heterogeneous also. And the third difference is whenever a compound is forming, atoms or elements combine in a fixed ratio. See, only when two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen, you get the formation of water. Otherwise, water will not be formed. But in case of mixture, it is not like that. Any, any of the substance in whatever the amount may be can combine with another substance. Okay, got to know? It's not that two atoms of one element should combine with one atom of another element. Okay, how much ever may be the element, it can combine with another element easily in any ratio. They can combine in 2:1 ratio, they can combine in 5:1 ratio, anything. This is another point of difference. And the next point of difference is, see here, constituents of a mixture can be separated by physical methods. Whereas, if you want to separate oxygen from hydrogen in the water, can you do it easily by physical methods? Never. Okay. So here, constituents of compound cannot be separated by physical method. Whereas in case of mixture, constituents can be separated by physical methods. Yeah. So this is another major difference. So you must able to figure out what are the differences between mixture and compound? Actually, that is one important question for your level. Clear? Fine. And now we will study some more varieties of mixtures. We know there are two types of mixtures. One was homogeneous mixture we studied, the other one was heterogeneous mixture we studied. But we have some more kinds of mixtures. All of them let us try to discuss. Let us discuss different kinds of mixtures based on the physical state. Based on the physical state of a constituent particle. Constituents. Okay. So mixture in the sense you have two constituents, two or more than two constituents. Constituents can be two elements, constituents can be two compounds, or constituents can be one element and one compound, isn't it? Say, depending on whether the constituent is solid, liquid or a gas, we have different kinds of mixture. Understood how we are writing different kinds of mixture? It is purely based on the physical state. That means whether a particular constituent is solid or liquid or a gas, based on this we are writing different kinds of mixture. Okay, so let us make a column here. First column, type of mixture, and let us write its nature in the sense whether it is homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, and the third column is example. Let us discuss example also. So like this you can make three columns here. See, the first variety is solid mixture. Okay, that means imagine there are two constituents here. Okay, two constituents. It may be two elements, it may be two compounds, or it may be one element and one compound. Okay, if both constituents are solid, see, that's why solid is one constituent, another constituent also solid, then such a mixture is called solid mixture. Okay, if this solid mixture is homogeneous, okay, then what example you will give? Alloys in the sense what? Mixture of elements. Yes or no? Say for example brass is an alloy. So in brass you will find the two elements mixed, right? And bronze is one more alloy. You must have heard bronze medal. Yes or no? So in bronze two elements are completely mixed. Okay, you cannot separate them that easily. The two elements are uniformly spread throughout the structure, throughout the mixture, right? Say alloys are example here for this variety of a mixture. And the next variety, solid only, solid mixture only. But if it is heterogeneous, okay, if two solids are not completely mixed, then such a condition is called heterogeneous. For this particular combination, it has to be solid mixture and it should be heterogeneous. For this combination, can you able to think of the example, right? Yeah, you can think about NaCl, or I can say sulfur powder with charcoal. Sulfur powder with charcoal. This is one solid, this is another solid, right? This is one element, this is another. Charcoal in the sense what? You will have carbon, right? Say both of them mixed and it is heterogeneous. That means they are not completely mixed with each other. They are not uniformly spread in a mixture, right? Say this is how you must able to write the types. And for the next variety I am going, that is solid liquid mixture. One constituent is solid, another constituent is liquid. Okay, so if this particular mixture is homogeneous in nature, for this condition, what example you can think of? Solid is one component, another component is liquid here, and the condition should be homogeneous. That means this particular solid should be completely mixed in a liquid. So what example? Common example, NaCl plus water. So here NaCl is solid, right? And water is liquid, right? So this combination is called solid liquid mixture. And here NaCl will nicely mix up with water, right? So that's the reason I'll call it as homogeneous condition. And the next one, solid liquid mixture only, but if it is heterogeneous, then what example you will give? Sand and water. Sand is a solid here, right? Water is a liquid here, but sand is not completely mixed with water. So that's why heterogeneous condition. So for this combination, I have given sand plus water as an example, right? So like that, the another type of a mixture you can observe is liquid mixture. That means if both components are liquid only, and if it is homogeneous, then what example you will give? Petrol plus kerosene, right? Petrol is one type of a liquid, kerosene is another type of a liquid. Both of them, if I combine, you get a mixture, and here petrol can completely get mixed with kerosene, right? So this is an example for this condition. And the next one is liquid mixture only, but if it is in heterogeneous condition, then what example you will give here? Oil plus water. Oil is a liquid, water is also liquid, but can oil completely get mixed up with water? Never. Oil always gets separated with water. They won't mix up, right? And they are not uniformly spread in the mixture, in a solution, right? So this can be an example for the last condition. So these are the different kinds of mixtures based on the physical condition of a constituents, whether the constituents are solid, liquid or gas. So based on their physical state, this is how we have classified the mixtures. Okay. So in my next class, let us try to understand the separation techniques of the components of mixture. I said the components of a mixture can be separated, right? Say NaCl can be separated from water, sand can be separated from water, petrol can be separated from kerosene. Say in case of mixture, components can be separated by physical methods only. So those physical methods we are going to discuss one by one, right? So till then, revise the concept and subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.